Hi, this is Elvira from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to take something from my art journal. I made this. I did not have a video on how I made this. I was doing this, composing this drawing when I was with my sister, FaceTiming her, and while she was doing her project, I was doing my project. So I created this during that time, and I wasn't filming it. And I really loved how it came out. And after I created it, I thought that will make a very, very nice painting for a card. So I'm going to create a card using this as my inspiration. So here is 140-pound cardstock. I went ahead and just taped it onto this clipboard. And then I'm going to be using some new watercolors paints. And these are the Turner watercolor paints that I got some time ago. I saw a review from Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, and they were on sale in Jerry Autorama during the holidays, so I went ahead and got it. And then I went to my local Hobby Lobby, and they had tubes of Van Gogh paints. These are Van Gogh, and I found these in the clearance section, and they were 59 cents, so I really couldn't pass them. They're fine art watercolor paints, and for that price, you can never have too many of these. One of the Van Gogh was the same as the phthalo green. They look very similar. So they're almost about the same. But the other greens looked different. So that's what I'm going to be using for my watercolor. So I got a number 10 brush. I think I'm going to be using that. And I may use a number 4 brush for the details. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm just going to walk you through my drawing. But then once I do the drawing, I will go ahead and speed up the video and just color it, and you'll see how I color this. Let me get usually I have a rag that I use to pick up the paint. So I'm going to have that on the side. Now this cardstock, this is actually watercolor, and when I bought my Turner paints, I also bought this watercolor cards. This is by Strathmore. They were very economical. I got 100 with the envelopes, and they were $27. Again, this is something that Lindsay was showing in one of her hauls. I like making watercolor cards. I was cutting down my watercolor paper to create the cards. This comes with the envelope and the cards for $27, and you get 100. I thought it was a good deal, so that's why I bought it. So hopefully you can see this. I'm going to go ahead and start creating my branches. So I went ahead and really zoom in closely so that you can see how I'm drawing these fruits. So it's basically a circle, and I'm making my branches, which are, first I start with a thin little line. And then I'm putting the fruit behind some of the branches. And the fruit is a circle with some kind of like flower form at the end. And I believe these may be pomegranate. I'm not sure. I went on Pinterest and I found an image of this fruit in its branches. And I really loved the image, so I decided to try my hand at recreating that image. And then I'm putting leaves on the side. So the leaves are just like a teardrop. And it looks pretty nice. So you don't really have to have any special drawing skill. It's just a teardrop with some lines for branches. And now I'm just soaking the paper with a lot of water because I want to do that wash, a wash on my card. And as you can see, I'm tilting the board up because I want that wash to just flow down. And I'm using some yellow, green, and red. And I'm just imitating what I see on my screen. Actually, I'm using my art journal for inspiration. Make sure that your first wash is completely dry before you attempt to do the second. So after I get this very dry, And you can see that even though it looked like I put a lot of pigment at the beginning, it really dries a lot lighter than what you see when it's wet. Now I'm putting my second layer, and I'm just defining my fruit a little more, putting some lemon yellow and some red. And I don't know the names of these colors, I'm sorry. But it just, any kind of red, you can use any kind of red and yellow. It will work fine. And then I'm going through each and every of the leaves and putting a wash of some sap green. So I know this one is sap green. And just a little bit, not too much of the color, because I'm going to build upon those colors. I'm going to add more layers to really make them stand out and give more detail to my branches and my flower. Actually, it's not a flower, it's a fruit. So one trick that I use is I go ahead and put a dark outline because I really want to define that shape of that fruit. So I'm putting some red and some darker colors like on the edges to give it that nice little shade or tone. And then I'm going in after I do that strong line with color. I go with my paintbrush and put clear water and blend that in with the paint with the other color underneath. And and I'm self-taught, so I haven't gone through any school, but I've been seeing a lot of videos of Lindsay when she watercolors, so I've been learning a lot from her. So this is some of the technique that I've picked up from her from watching all her videos, and other people too. I've been watching a lot of watercolor videos online, and I've been picking up little things here and there from each of these artists. And you need to see a lot of different artists and look at their technique, and you will come away with your own technique. So I don't think I really paint exactly how Lindsay paint. I just mainly picked up some of her advice and ideas and kind of made it my own. That's the same way when you paint with mixed media dolls and things like that. You see other people how they do it. You learn a little bit how to create the shape. You practice, and you always will come out with your own version of whatever you see. So now I'm going to go ahead and start focusing on my branches. So I'm going to use that sap green that I've been using and add a little bit of brown, and that gave some dimension to my branches. And then I'm just putting the color like on the one edge of the branch. So I'm not coloring all the branches, the whole entire branch with that color. I'm just putting a little line of this sap green and brown color, so that way it looks a little bit shaded. You can see a little bit of the tone when I did that. And now I'm just making sure that's nice and dry before I do my last treatment. And it's basically I'm going over with this Durant drawing pencil, and it's a sepia. I did not want to use black because I really wanted to keep the colors subtle colors, subtle outline. I didn't want to really make a stark dark or black outline. So the sepia drawing pencil works very nice because it just laid down perfect and it did make my fruit and my leaves stand out, but it did not make it look like really shockingly really black outline against this nice muted watercolor paint. And then I'm just going over with my mean streak because I have a hard time preserving the white, and that just gave it a little bit of highlight and glow to my panel. Okay, I'm back. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put "You Are." I have this stamp. It says "You are loved and be awesome." I'm gonna cut. You're not gonna affect the stamp. You can cut these acrylic stamp areas. So I'm gonna cut "You Are," and I'm gonna put that there. Awesome. And I'm gonna cut this off. Okay. Yeah, that didn't do anything to that stamp. And we're going to go put it there. You are awesome. And I might even put a little heart. Let's see how that heart looks. Nah, I think I'll leave the heart out. So let me go ahead and bring my stamping tool, because I want to make sure it really stamps well. And I'm using this Stamp Perfect by Hampton Arts. And it does the same thing as my homemade version. But I kind of like it more because it looks cute. But it's going to work the same way as my homemade version of this stamp. You want to let it soak in a little bit. And see, I knew I needed to do it with the stamping tool because watercolor does not, it's not smooth. This is not smooth watercolor. This is actually cold press. It's not hot press. So they don't tend to be smooth. It tends to be a little bumpy. So I know that my stamp is not going to be stamped perfect on there. So that's why I went ahead and pulled this tool out. Still not stamping well there. Yes, it's a defective stamp. So when that happens, you're just going to take a Sharpie and fill it in very carefully. So I decided to go ahead and make a matching envelope. I really love how this envelope came out. Although it's not watercolor, so this is just a little heavier paper. It's not even cardstock. So I had to be very careful with my wash. But it did come out pretty nice. I just make sure I didn't put too much water on here to make it buckle. Now I'm just putting some splatters. And I'm pretty much done with this. I really love how this came out. And imagine making a set of these, and you can even start making some of these and sell it. It didn't take me that long, about an hour to make these. So I'm done with this project, this card. So it really came out pretty nice. I really like it. So if you'd like to see more of these type of video, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you back shortly. So I hope you like this video,